Well, I just watched Doug Walker's top 10 moments that made him cry, involving television, opera, and movies. I decided to make a reaction video simply telling my top 5 moments that really made me cry in modern media. I'm just going to go right into it. Number 5, the death of Darth Vader in Return of the Jedi. Now, early in the film, we had a pretty sad scene watching Yoda pass, so, already it kind of builds it up. I'm basically going on, I was 4 years old the first time I saw it. I wasn't relatively keen on the whole death scene, so the Yoda death kind of started getting to me. It wasn't really until Darth Vader died that really settled in. So I was like, well, maybe Darth Vader will survive now he's reconciled with his son and stuff. And then the finality of watching his eyes just gradually close and watching Luke burn the body. Yeah, it just 4-year-old me was just starting to burst up into tears. It's one of the few early memories I have. It's just one of those things that just opens up your eyes to the reality of life, and this is in Star Wars, of all things. So it's kind of weird because this was actually this would have actually gone to Spock's death. I saw it about 2 years later because I love Spock in the original Star Trek, but this one just kind of really hit me more because the first time I was kind of introduced to the idea of the finality of death. Star Wars, a lot of people died. Obi-Wan died too. But you saw his Force Ghost in the next film. Or you also heard his voice in the end of the original film. This one, nope. He died. Simple. You saw his dead body. He didn't disappear. Now, number 4 is going to, it's going to make every anime purist cringe into complete terror of what I'm about to say. Now, I watched the early Adult Swim and the early anime. One of the earliest anime they had on there was Inuyasha, so that was probably one of the first things I saw. I was kind of just coming out of college at the time when I started really watching it. So, I heard that they were coming out with to show the second half of all the comic book series in a series called The Final Act. I figured, okay, I'll probably give this a go. Now, when I saw this moment, it kind of made me cry, probably because it's just circumstance. I was just coming out of a funeral when I first saw this. It's episode 8, Kikyo's death. It's just a scene that kind of gets to me. First off, another series involving, the voice actors, especially the Japanese voice actors, Kapi Yamaguchi and Noriko, give me a second to read it, Hidaka, sorry, I'm just kind of really bad with names. I saw them in their previous series, Ranma 1/2, which, I love Ranma 1/2, and, Kapi and Noriko play Ranma, Guy Form Ranma and Akane Tendo. So, I was kind of used to hearing their voices. I generally listen more to the English dub. Now, the English dub I heard later on, and, the actors did, Willow Johnson and Richard Ian Cox did a very good job, but, no, the Japanese version is the one that really got to me. The moment that actually just got to me was the moment that just, the finality, and just the fact when you hear Kapi Yamaguchi's voice just crack. And these people have worked together for a long time, and it just felt like, you're actually listening to two people who've known each other, and one literally is dying in the other's arms. I really give it up to just the voice actors. The fact they're able to convey this idea. And it just got to me, and I think it was just a case of time. and just the fact that these, the professionals were so good at it. Okay, next film is one of the films you, let's face it, it's called The Bucket List. So you knew these characters were going to die. There's going to be no miraculous recovery. These people were both destined to die. The scene that really got to me actually was the death of Morgan Freeman's character and his funeral, and just listening to Jack Nicholson's eulogy. It was just, I think, just one of the most beautiful things I'd seen in film in a long time up to that point. I loved the scene, especially, it's just one of my favorite scenes, actually, of the last decade, the 2000s. I don't know, it's one of those things, it's just the moment I saw just the tears coming out of Nicholson's eyes, great actor, it just tells you just the type of actor Jack Nicholson is. So, yeah. Okay, this was actually on Doug's list, The Little Match Girl from Disney. And I'm going to keep it very short because he did a much better job describing this than I'll ever do. This is the moment when the little match girl starts, she's basically her final moments on the earth. She's basically, just trying to keep some bit of warmth. She's just basically igniting all the matchsticks she has left. She only has 5 or 6 or so. So, and she looks into the flame, starts imagining, life. It might have been her previous life where she's, imagining, what it's like to live in a house with family and tree. And then as the last match goes off, you see the spirit of a mother or grandmother come out and just pick her up. But the reality is, you see still the body is still against the wall. Yeah, I can't really explain otherwise. This was a really sad scene. It really kind of made me tear up. Sorry. Yeah, this last one's going to be one that's really going to be kind of a cheat because it actually involves real life. And I know it's going to be strange because it's actually professional wrestling that's actually on here. See, in 1999, well, I grew up watching wrestling like most kids in my grade school. And one of the guys I used to watch quite a bit was Owen Hart. And, I always thought Owen Hart was kind of the more undervalued wrestlers I had ever seen. Just greatly underappreciated, phenomenal talent, great technician, and just the ability to sell things. And, my brother actually told me it was after Over the Edge. It was kind of weird because I was actually waiting for start a new job, so I didn't watch it the previous night. And my older brother told me that, Owen Hart died. And it kind of just, it's kind of a downer. So I watched Raw that evening, wondering what they would do, and they started reeling, So when I said it was one of the few times they just went freestyle on all the promos and everything. Everybody just went out, did whatever they felt like, kind of making a tribute for the guy. The two that really kind of got me, one was obviously Adam Copeland, Edge, and the one that really opened up the tear ducts was Mark Henry. Weird, the guy called the world's strongest man, and it was the fact of I guess he's trying to stay in character, trying to read the poem, but I think because he was just there and he saw the real thing, it just kind of really opened it up. So, yeah, those are my top 5. It's kind of weird. This is how media really kind of opens us up for different feelings. Just activates, hates it. Now it's kind of weird because my top 5 all involve death. It shouldn't be. It should be happy moments could open up with tears, but it's just the case that these are the ones that kind of just stuck with me. So, Yeah. Thank you for listening. Bye.